Hello, this is your Magnificent Life call on time. We have 2 minutes till it's 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. Cairo time. And we're going to be talking about something that stops you from having a magnificent life, stops your happiness, stops your fulfillment, stops being at peace in your heart. It's a huge stopper. And since what we're doing here is working towards feeling that you're having a magnificent life, that you are creating the life you want, that you are one step at a time creating the life you desire, where you do feel, wow, I have a good life, and you enjoy that life, whatever that's supposed to look like for you, right? So it's not about a lot of money, it's not about this, it's not about that, it's about what it looks like for you. So if you like a small cottage, if you want to cook at home more, you want to enjoy reading more, you want to have more time with your grandchildren, that's your magnificent life. So we're working towards creating that. I'm going to wait a couple of minutes and see who jumps on. If not, you'll have the video. If you're here, just say hello. A lot of people tell me later, I was on, but I didn't say, but they don't tell me they're on. So if you're on, just let me know. Okay? And we will start. Also, if you have any questions about everything we've covered, I think we're in the 12th week. I'm not really sure which one this one is. But anyway, you have them all on YouTube. Hi, Ahsan, Al-Kaziz. Anyway, we'll put them up on YouTube a couple of days later, if not earlier. You can watch them over and over. You can share them with your friends. You can go back to them. I also put them in groups on the videos, so you can see them one after the other. That'll make life easier for you. And if I were you, I would get a notebook and start, jotting down notes of things that make a difference for me, so that I can use them until I'm over that obstacle or that challenge that I have. Okay, so I'm going to just start. We're on time. So what is the discussion today? And I was wondering if you figured out what I'm going to be talking about. So we're going to talk about perfectionism. I've chosen that today because it's a big thing. It's a big deal. If you have a lot of issues with perfectionism and you want life to be perfect or things to be perfect, you will find it hard to be happy. You'll find it hard to have inner peace. You'll find it hard to feel your life is good, because you'll be always striving and never arriving. Because if you're a perfectionist, there is no perfection. There's always, I could have done this a little bit different. I could have done this way. If nothing else, I could have done it faster. I could have done it that way. I should have said this. I shouldn't have done that. I should have. A lot of shoulds and a lot of it's not good enough yet. So if you have that, how are you going to be happy? And in fact, the surprising thing is, which I found surprising, is it's 40% of people have perfectionism issues. So that's really a lot. And they're saying it's even growing because of many reasons. One of them is Facebook, and people are comparing themselves to others and thinking other people are doing a better job, they're getting more money, they have better looking kids, their houses look better, whatever is going on, their bodies look better. So people are striving to go there. And because they're striving, they're trying to be perfect that, it's really stressing them out and giving them a lot of other issues. So what does it look like? What happens if you're a perfectionist? As I just said, from the magnificent life point of view, you can't be that happy. You're always dissatisfied. That's one of the things that happen. There are people that are dissatisfied. They go to the most wonderful place to have dinner, and their eye only sees what's missing or what's wrong, or the waiter wasn't so nice, or the rice should have been a little bit more salt, or the meat was undercooked, or this was that, or you know what, the tablecloth, or they put us on a table that wasn't so nice, and I don't know what else. They find a reason not to enjoy it 100%. And they sometimes pride themselves on that. They say, oh, I'm really a perfectionist. I don't like just any old thing. I like my things just right. And that's why I make sure, and I call the restaurant before, and I tell them I want X table. And if they know the waiter, I want that waiter helping me. And I want you to tell the chef when I order my steak, he better do exactly the way he if it's rare, I want it rare. I don't want it 1 minute extra. Not 1 minute extra baked or charcoal or whatever. So they're really difficult, and they think they're proud that they manage to this. They're super controlling sometimes. And they do that at home with the kids, and they do that at home on themselves too. And it's really tough, and it puts them under a lot of stress. They're not recognizing how stressful it is for them to do that, for themselves and for the people who serve them or are around them. The major thing is they're never satisfied with what they do and what others do, what they do and what others provide. There's always something wrong with it, or it could have been done better. So they're never happy, quite frankly. That's one of the things. Now, it also shows up in many other ways. If you're an employee or a writer or a painter or whatever you do, sometimes they never complete, or they complete under extreme stress, under extreme pressure. Like they're going to be fired if they don't put in the report. That's when they do it. Or they desperately need money, so they better finish that painting and put it out. Or they've signed a contract and they said they will deliver the accounts or whatever they said they're going to deliver, and it's better to get there, so they desperately finish it. But other than that, they don't do it. They always have issues with delivery. They don't want to deliver what they're done because they fear criticism. They fear they've made a mistake. They fear what they do to others will be done to them. And they also fear their own inner voice, what we call the inner mean person. Inner mean bitch. Yes, I said it. Sometimes she's really a bitch. Inner mean girl, inner mean father, inner mean man, whatever that person is. Hi, from New Jersey, Asma. So, I'm glad you're here. So they're so fearing of the criticism that they don't want to deliver. They don't want to give the product. They don't want to say I finished. They don't want to say I finished. Of course, this is also stressing them out and making life tough for them and others. And they're not happy. It all comes to they're not happy. And actually it causes a ton of diseases. There's a lot of research on that, to the point that one doctor is saying, just like we say obesity and smoking can cause a lot of issues, we should be asking the profile of the person, are they perfectionists? And this doctor is doing research on perfectionism and how it relates to health. There's research about, I was shocked to read, that heart disease, 3 times people who are perfectionists are more liable to get heart disease 3 times as much. Not 50%, not 100%, no, 3 times. That's 300% more chance of you getting a heart issue because you're a perfectionist. It's related to insomnia, it's related to psychosomatic diseases, it's related to, what else was it? MS, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, and also like autoimmune, like arthritis, which I had, okay? So hi, Mona. So it's related to so many diseases because of the stress response, of course, and they are in continuous stress. So it's a huge stressor on the body. It's a huge stressor on the body. Now, I'm not going to really talk about why that develops. You can read about that, or we can do that if you want, because that's not the intention of this series. This series is creating the magnificent life. So my intention is to talk about this and how to release it. What do we need to do to release this perfectionism from our life so that we lead a more magnificent life? This is the intention of this series. Those of you who know Arabic, there is another set that talks about illness, where I went into a lot of details today of why perfectionism causes, or how perfectionism causes a lot of diseases. So there's a lot of information for illness there. But for this, we're building our magnificent life. So what do? I'm just going to give some simple things that I did for me, because I am a recovering perfectionist. I had to work on myself too. I was that profile, the person that wanted to do it perfectly, at least for work things. It wasn't about the home, it wasn't about my looks, it wasn't about my kids, but the work, yes, I wanted it so perfect that nobody would dare or could find anything wrong anyway. And so I overworked, super overworked. Nothing would get out, except it took so much longer than anything else. So one thing is to learn to say good enough is good enough. Just put that up in front of your desk. I did put one of those things up on my mirror on my desk, and I had to remind myself, good enough is good enough. So it's good enough. Is it good enough? Yeah, it's good enough. Good enough is good enough. Stop me that it doesn't have to be perfect. Good enough is good enough. Another one that I personally used a lot, just get it done. Just do it. The Nike saying. And that works for so many people. It's something I read somewhere, and it really worked for me too. So I would have to say, just, just do it. Just do it. And do it meaning finish it and get it out. Don't keep thinking and overthinking and reading 20 books to write one sentence. No, you don't need to do that. Okay? So to tell you about my perfectionism, when I learned about EFT, I wanted to see every single website on the internet, I swear. And I wanted to watch I had that intention, yes, I had that I swear to God, that I would watch every single video on the internet. And then I was shocked because one time, it's like the conscious had to come in. It was like 2 years later, and then I was watching like this, and I opened up, and I said, how many hits are there? So I could divide them and make an Excel sheet. How I'm going to see all these? And I found 2 million. And this was like 2011 or 2012, I don't remember. 2 million hits at that time. I don't know how many we have now. And suddenly it dawned on me, oh, that's not going to happen. Thank God I did that exercise, because then I just said, oh, you're not going to read every single website and every single video you're not going to watch. I had already watched tons. I had memorized their lives, their stuff. This is not what we need to talk about today. Hello. Ahlan biki. Sorry, hello from Libya. Sorry, we'll try to speak English here. Okay, because there are others who don't speak Arabic, and we're trying to serve them too. So let's go on with that. So those are things you can do. And another thing is only 80%. I want you to stop at 80%. Whatever you're doing, cleaning your house, dressing, I don't know, whatever, you're playing a sport, 80% for you, perfectionist, is good enough. Your 80% is higher than the 100% of others. Your 80% is already amazing. And anyway, 80% is not average. That's something I wish they had told us. What's wrong with being 80%? There's nothing wrong with 80%. 80% is amazing. So the next, I love you too, Hanan. Thank you for being here. So 80% is good. So you have to remind yourself, I'm going for the 80%. Because believe me, between the 80 and the 100, it's a long path. And for a lot of people, they don't ever get the 100 anyway. They don't like the 100. The 100 doesn't look like 100. You don't know what they're thinking it has to be, because there's always something you can improve. There's always a sentence you can change. There's always a flower you can add to the room. There's always, maybe I should have done this one shade lighter. And maybe when you do the shade lighter, say, I should have done it one shade darker. There's no perfection, actually. There doesn't exist. It's a myth. So that's something else you do, is that, let me see what else I had in here for you. But this is the things you need to do to get out of this perfectionism story. And also, stop worrying about what others think. And I put a lot of stars in my papers on this. I prepared for you well. I didn't read everything on perfectionism on earth, but I did work on it. So I'm just having fun with you. So what I want to say is, you've got to, one of the reasons, of course, I don't want to go into reasons. This is not psychoanalysis here. The reasons we have this perfectionism story is fear of being criticized. And we have the inner critic, and we think all others will criticize. And because we're so critical, we expect others to criticize. And of course, we may attract it. So it's a vicious circle. So the fear of being criticized. And part of that is you have to tell yourself, what others think of me is their business. Memorize it. I had to memorize it. Thank God for my coach in the beginning. She made me memorize. What others think of me is their business. Okay? And the first time I heard that, I was like, what? How can that be? And my clients do the same. Are you crazy? What do you mean I shouldn't care what they think? I'm living thinking I have to worry what they think. I have to take care of what they think. I have to think about what they think. No, no, no. Stop it. Like, stop that, stop that, stop that. What others think of you is their business. So they could say, Mirette, thinks she's something. That's their business. Mirette, she's just showing up. That's their business. Mirette doesn't do her hair every time. That's their business. It's okay. I get to do it my way. They get to do it their way. That's fine. Let me just read this. They're all in Arabic. I'm sorry for the English speakers, but I will try to translate. Okay, so here we go. So who is this person? Hanan is saying she has changed a lot. She used to have problems with her back, and She's saying, I swear to God, my life has changed 180 degrees using EFT. And Hanan also is writing, that's why I have decided I must come to Egypt to learn this. I have a surprise for you. I am preparing. I need to be pushed to do this for you online. Taban, I'd love to see you in Egypt. I'd love you to come and take the course, and we go visit the Nile and we do all the visits too. My dream was to have the EFT course on a cruise. It will be done. But until we do that, we can also join together on internet. We'll do it all online, and we'll all be together, and I will teach you EFT, proper EFT. Okay. So we talked about what we need to do, and what other people think of you is their business. Now, because of that, I'm going to show you how to tap for that. Tapping for, and by the way, I did do this tapping on the Arabic one. So you can go there if you like, Hanan, to hear the tapping. If you know English, you know Arabic, but if you like to hear the Arabic wording. So fear of being criticized. So just close your eyes and take a deep breath and check in and see if you have this issue of perfectionism or fear of being criticized. And take one area, not everything. So if it's about the house, about your looks, about your kids, about your work, about whatever, about the way your body looks, what is that fear about being criticized? Get in touch with that fear of being criticized about it and rate it from 0 to 10. 0 doesn't matter at all. 10, I'm really scared of being criticized in that area. I don't want people to say, I don't take care of my body and I'm flabby. I don't want people to say, I am overweight and I never take care, whatever. You're afraid of being criticized, okay? So let's start tapping, even though we have our topic, we've rated it, we've done our job. Now we do the karate chop, even though I'm really scared of being criticized. I love and accept myself. Even though I'm really scared of being criticized, I love and accept myself. Even though I'm really, really scared, I don't want to be criticized. Maybe it will hurt too much. I love and accept myself. I'm scared to be criticized. Running up and down my system. I don't want to hear bad words about it. I don't want to see that look in their eyes. I don't want to hear it in their voice, in the tone of their voice. I don't want to hear those words. I don't want to be criticized. I don't want to be told I'm not good enough. I don't want to be told I'm not good enough. I don't want to be hurt with their words. I'm really scared. It's running up and down my system. I can feel it. It stresses me out. It makes me overwork. It makes me over-deliver. It makes me overthink. I really am scared of being criticized. I'm scared of their words. I'm scared of what they think of me, even if they don't tell it to me. I'm making up all these stories in my mind, what they might say. All this fear inside my body. All this fear filling my system. All this fear running up. Oh my God, all this fear. I'm releasing it. What if? It doesn't really matter. What if what they think is their business? What if I'm already good enough? What if I'm already okay? What if good enough is good enough? What if good enough is good enough? What if I'm already good? What if I'm already done my best? What if I'm already good enough? What if whatever they say is their business? A couple more times. You can redo this video over a week, over a month. If it takes a month to release this, do it. Tap and tap. And of course, what we're looking for is you will remember an incident where you decided as a child, I need to be perfect. I need to perfect this. I need to be careful. Maybe you were hurt by somebody's criticism. I'm just trying to finish this. So I want you to remember, you will remember by tapping some incidents. If you don't, it's okay. Maybe next time, maybe the third tapping, but you will probably remember an incident where you decided or you felt you need to perfect things so that you don't get the maybe you were very hurt from their talk or their eyes or their tone of the voice or the look, like they looked at your picture and they said, you could have, you could have colored inside, right? Or how could you make the sun blue? The sun is never blue. So whatever happened is the reason you now decided at some point when you were young, 0 to 7, I need to be perfect, okay? And then I want you to tap that one. I'm just going to read this and see what's being said. Hanan, you are the wonderful person. You change people to love. How I do not interact with your videos. I publish as much as possible in Libya, especially that I have 70,000. Oh my God. Okay, Hanan, thank you so much for sharing. We all need this work. We need it for the millions of Arabs everywhere. And you do your part, I'll do my part, and we all help each other. Thank you so much. So I want you to tap on this and see what happens. And come back to me under this video. If we need to tap again on this one day, we will. Because if you're perfectionist and you're having this problem, it's going to be hard to have the magnificent life we're working towards. It's really going to be hard. As I talked about this in the beginning. How are you going to have a good life when you're so critical of everything that happens? You can't. In fact, in order to be that way, you need to see the beauty in 80%. You need to see the beauty of getting things done. The beauty of just putting it out and playing, because we're here to play on this earth. We're here to enjoy. We're here to put ourselves out there and share what we have, even if it's imperfect. So I'm totally imperfect. I don't have the best makeup. I don't have the best lighting. I don't have the best setup. But I've decided for this, I'm going to just do it. I need to share. And that was one day last year when I just woke up and said, I love sharing. And I'm just going to share. I'm just going to share. Whether I'm in the sea and my hair isn't done, whether I have beautiful makeup or I don't, whether the video is working or not, whether I have the best lighting, I'm just going to share. The content is important. And if they criticize the way I look, then they're not, they're not benefiting from the purpose of the video. The purpose of the video is not for me to be a movie star. The purpose is for something else and for me to connect with you. And I love you for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please follow what we did with the Magnificent Life. It will shift your life. Okay? Thank you so much.